to my video. I'm Camilla from You Crafty Dog. So today I'm going to do a flip to show you how to make a fake stone pot. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So here's what I started with. It's an old bread bin that my parents are throwing away that I thought, well, I might as well try and do a makeover on this. And you can see here the lid's been dropped many times and glued back together. There's plenty of cracks around the edges. So it could definitely do with a makeover. So I started off by doing a coat of white paint. And I found that this paint stuck on okay. But in some cases it may be worth kind of roughening up with a bit of sandpaper just to help the paint have some purchase. And I decided to do inside as well, just because I think if you could see the black from the side on the inside, that this might look a little strange. So I didn't do it quite as perfectly on the inside, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of a similar colour. And don't forget the lid. And then after that first paint, I could see that it was all still quite patchy when the paint had dried. So I went over with the second coat. And when this was dry, it gave a much more thorough coverage. Look, you can barely notice that crack anymore. So once that second coat of white paint was dry, I mixed up what would be my darkest colour paint. So I really wanted like a kind of beigey stone coloured pot. So my darkest colour I decided would be a brown. I didn't want it super dark, so I did kind of a mid-tone brown. You can see here I've mixed up with some white with some dark brown. There we go, that seems about right. And then I took an old sponge that was dry and dipped it in the paint, and then used this to dapple all over the pot to give a dappled effect. And I didn't really want this too uniform. You'll see that I've kind of got some areas that are darker than others, and then others that I leave a lot lighter. In a bit I'm going to go over it with my main colour, but I just want these kind of darker areas to poke through. So next I want to go in, and I decided to do a kind of khaki green colour. Here's me struggling to get the paint out of the pot. And here's a dark green with a little bit of black. Mix that all up. I've washed the sponge and just wringed it out so it's mainly dry. And then I just did the same technique again and went over with this khaki green colour. Again, kind of doing a pattern at random. And then I mixed up the main colour I wanted my pot to be. So I mixed up white here. Took that lid off to get the last bits out. And I mixed it up with a kind of peachy colour. And then just dappled this all over. And I gave a bit more of a fuller coverage with this colour, just because I wanted this to be the main colour of my pot. Don't forget the insides. So I've come outside to get some dirt for the next part of my project. There we go, nice and easy. So I don't need too much, probably about 2 tablespoons worth. That'll do it, it's only a small pot really. mix these up together and start painting it on the dry pot. So I started off doing this with a paintbrush, like so, and then taking a bit of paper towel and just rubbing off the excess. And I didn't want to leave this sitting on the pot for too long because I worried that the water with the acrylic paint might start to cause the paint to lift up. So I did it nice and quick. And I actually decided that I was getting a better effect if I rubbed it in with my hand after a while. Obviously you can wash your hands after. I just found that rubbing it in with your hand gave you a more organic feel, and the little patches of uneven paint would catch the mud and do little patches all over. So just continue putting on the mud and rubbing it in and rubbing off the excess with a cloth until you're happy. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I was really pleased on how the pot turned out, and I really hope you like it too. So let me reveal it to you right now.